Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Lorenzo, host, your friend, your coach. Today, we're kicking off day 2 of the live 5-day profitable podcast launch challenge, class of the UK and Europe, November 2025. And today, we're going to do something very powerful, and which is we're going to start talking about what your podcast is going to be about and start brainstorming about you and identifying the one thing that's going to be the central point of everything we're going to be doing moving forward, and that is your zone of genius. And once we have your zone of genius, then we will be able to identify what is your ideal listener's avatar and then what your podcast is going to be about. So that's going to be for today. Before I start, any questions from yesterday? Berta, MB, any questions about day 1?
Just to let you know that MB has WhatsApp me to say she cannot hear from her phone. So I'm just trying to see.
She cannot hear?
Yeah.
Is she able to connect using a computer or laptop?
I think it's her phone.
Maybe get out and get back in. Maybe reboot your phone, turn off your phone, turn it back in, and then join the call right away.
I'm just leaving a message in the office and then I'll go.
Okay. All right. While I do that, I'm going to move on. Do you have any questions, Berta, from yesterday, from day 1?
No.
Okay.
Not
Perfect.
really.
All right. So let's start now with talking about getting what we all want here, and that is to get leads on demand and high-ticket clients so we can make money with your very own profitable podcast and YouTube channel. That's what you're going to be looking at. I shared with you guys this fantastic graph yesterday. How podcasting is booming. Now, today I'm going to share with you something else that's going to add to it, that's going to complement it, that's going to show you the full extent of the staggering opportunity we have ahead of us. And that is this. Take a look at this, guys. $1 billion a day. Yes, billions with a D.
Hey, amen. Wonderful.
Sorry?
Wonderful. I said wonderful.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that's a staggering data, but that is, do you know what that amount is? That's the amount of money people are spending, or rather investing, every single day to solve one very specific problem that they're facing. And keep in mind, that data is from a year ago. And as we all know, the self-learning and coaching industry has been absolutely booming. So by now, almost end of 2025, it's probably now 1.5, if not $2 billion a day. $2 billion a day. Now, the question is, how can me and you get our share of this humongous and delicious pie? Even a fraction of that, even $1,000 a day, that's $30,000 a month. Even $500 a day, that's $15,000. Or even heck, $100 a day, that's going to be $3,000, or about 2,500 pounds, and that's going to pay your mortgage. For those of us that are, nomad and living around the world, that's going to afford us a very affordable, very enjoyable lifestyle. Now, as I said, this is the amount of money people are investing quietly around you and around us and around the world each day to solve one very specific pain point that they're facing by hiring a coach, a mentor, a guide, an activator, a big brother, big sister to help them solve one very specific problem. And we're going to be looking into that, how we can get our share of that. So as I mentioned, that's what this is about. And in order for us to get our share, even a tiny fraction of that humongous and delicious pie, we're going to be very happy and very, very, very busy for the rest of our life. Now, to answer the question, how we can get our share of this pie, the question we need to answer is this one. What one very specific pain point can you solve, and for who? Not 20, one. What, again, let me repeat that. What one very specific pain point can you solve, and for who specifically? Answering that question is the fastest way for you to get your share of this humongous pie. And to achieve that, we need to address these 4 key questions. The first one is this: what is your core primary expertise and skill set? In other words, what's your zone of genius? And that's what we're going to be covering today. Second, what is the main pain point you're solving and for who? Through your offer, your program, your podcast, YouTube channel. And the next one is, what's the dream outcome for your client? And last but definitely not least, how do you find them and get your message to them? So again, everything builds from the previous step. It all comes down to one thing. The bottom line is this: what is your zone of genius? Because your zone of genius is going to determine for you, and without any guesswork. Wait, there's another one person coming. Your zone of genius is going to determine what is the main pain point you're solving and for who. And this is what we're going to be doing through your program, your offer, your podcast, YouTube channel, and so on and so forth. Welcome, LONIB. Today, as I said, we're looking at something very powerful, and that is how to identify your zone of genius, because your zone of genius is what's going to allow you to really build a successful, profitable podcast. And as I mentioned, we are facing here in front of us, we have an incredible opportunity, a staggering $1 billion a day opportunity. And that is the amount of money people around us and around the world are quietly investing to solve one very specific pain point for one very specific person. And now the question is, how can you and me and all of us in here get our fair share of this humongous and also delicious pie? The answer is very simple. We need to answer this question: what one very specific pain point can you solve and for who? Let me repeat that. What one very specific pain point can you solve and for who? Simple as that. And to achieve that, we need to address these 4 key questions. Number 1, what's your core primary expertise and skill set? In other words, what's your zone of genius? Because that's going to allow you to see in a very logical way the next step and the next step and the next step. The next step being, once you know what's your zone of genius, that's going to tell you exactly what is that one main pain point that you can solve and for who? Through your offer, your program, your podcast, YouTube channel, your business, essentially. And then the next step is, what's the dream outcome for your client? Once you've solved that pain point for them, what is the dream outcome they will achieve through going through your program? And then last but definitely not least, how do you find them to get your message to them? And that's what we're going to be covering. Here's the number 1 reason why most coaches and entrepreneurs struggle to get any traction, any leads, any clients for their businesses, is because they lack clarity. They want to help everyone with all of the issues. And as we all know, trying to help everyone with all the issues, you're going to end up helping nobody. Because again, your message is going to be diluted. Nobody's going to be able to relate, to resonate, to identify with your message. Instead, what we need is to be extremely clear, have crystal clear clarity, laser focused clarity as to what is that one specific pain point that you're solving and for who specifically. This is very, very, very important. Without this, you have no business. Simple as that. Because again, clarity is the name of the game. Let me repeat that. Clarity is the name of the game. And that's something you will hear me say over and over and over again, not just this week, but also for the rest, should you decide to take this to the next level inside the academy. And again, let me repeat that. One very specific pain point, one very specific person, not 25 pain points, not 25 people. One very specific pain point for one very specific person. This is incredibly, incredibly, incredibly important. Because again, the more clarity you have in your messaging and in your offer, the more your message will be magnetic, the more your offer will be compelling. And as a result of that, the more your program will be transformational, resulting in your business being very, very, very profitable. Very simple. That's why clarity is the name of the game. Now, how do we achieve that? How do we attain that crystal clear, laser focus, clarity? And we do that by simply identifying what is your zone of genius and true gifts. Again, we do that by simply identifying what is your true zone of genius and true gifts. Now, there's many ways to identify your zone of genius. I will share with you my favorite 5 or 6 ways to achieve that. The first one is obviously Take a look at your existing background, at your professional background. If you spend any amount of time in any industry, any niche, say 5, 10, 20 years, then that's an obvious place to start because you know the industry, you speak the language, you know what is a pain point, you've lived it, you've breathed it, and you speak the language very intimately. So that's the first place. The second way to identify your zone of genius is take a look at all of your skill sets, especially what high income skill do you have? What high income skill have you acquired in your journey, in your career? And by high income skill, I mean anything that people have been or currently paying you a lot of money for. And some of examples of high income skill can be selling, negotiation, copywriting, designing, coding, anything like that. These are very in demand, very sought after high income skills. The next one is if you've been born with any special talent, natural God given talent. Some people are amazing, say, for example, with numbers, with words, with sports, music, dancing, or anything like that, painting, drawing. So if you're good at anything, you don't need to be a world champion, a world class expert. All you need is to be just better than the person you're teaching. You just need to be 1, 2, 3, or 4 steps at most ahead of the person you're teaching. There's a lot of people who've built very successful 6, 7, even 8-figure businesses simply helping others. One of my previous clients, she's built a business simply teaching people how to learn to dance. Another person that I know, teaching people with creating their resume or helping them pass the LSAT or the the business school entrance exam entrance, anything like that. People will pay a pretty penny for those. So again, if you have any such talent, these are amazing places to start. The next one is probably my favorite one, the most impactful one, and that is any major challenges, life challenges that you may have overcome in your journey, in your life, because your hero's journey, that's what it's all about. Because again, as we all know, we all go through a fair share of pain, trauma, abuse, tragedy, disease, betrayal, heartbreak, sickness, whatever it is. Yes, it's very painful when you go through that, but guess what? Those become your story. And then your story becomes ultimately your gifts. And your gifts ultimately become your duty and responsibilities. Yes, life is a school. We all come here to learn, grow, become better and wiser. But that's only 5% of what we're here for. The 95% is to take our gifts and simply share them. First of all, embrace them loud and proud, and then share them even louder and prouder around us and around the world. So take a look at your life. What major life challenges have you overcome? And the more painful, the more heartbreaking it was for you, guess what? The more transformational, impactful is going to be for someone else. And as a result of that, is going to be the more profitable for you. Basically, whatever major life challenges you have overcome successfully, the other people currently going through that, and these people are desperately looking and seeking for a big brother, big sister to say, hold my hand, I've been in your shoes, and together we can get out of it. That's what people want. Because when people are looking to hire a coach and pay a few $1,000s, pounds, and euros, they're not looking for a disconnected billionaire. What they're looking for is someone that has walked the path in front of them, someone who's just 1, 2, 3, or 4 steps ahead of them, someone that has successfully overcome what they're currently going through. That's exactly what we're doing here. One of my favorite saying is, your crap is your gold. Because again, or in a more PC way, your mess is your message. Nothing happens to you, but for you. Again, take a look at your life, especially the painful, heartbreaking, tragic events of your life. The more painful, the more heartbreaking, guess what? The more impactful, the more transformational is going to be for the person that's currently going through it. Because again, when people pay the big money for 2 things. 1, transformation, and 2, speed. Help them solve whatever problem they're facing now faster than they can do it, and they will throw money at you. And that's what we're going to be doing. So again, take a look at your life and don't discard anything, whether it's your professional background, whether it's any crap that you have to overcome in your life so far. Those are truly, truly, truly your gifts. And now your gifts are here to change other people's lives and even eventually save families, save lives. The more transformation it is, the more it changes lives, the more people will pay you for it. So now, another way to also identify your zone of genius is, what is one thing that you're known for in your circle? What is one thing that you love, love, love geeking about? Growing up, I used to be known as Mr. Brazil because I was obsessed with Brazil. Anyone had any question with Brazil, they would come to me. Now, of course, I'm in a different place. I don't want to build a business around that, but I'm sharing that just as an example for you to get your creative juices flowing in the right direction. So again, what hobby are you truly passionate, even obsessed about, that you love geeking about? Whatever that may be, that could be an amazing place to identify your zone of genius and ultimately build a very successful, profitable, and impactful business around that. So take a piece of paper and write down your answers to all of these, and ask yourself which way to identify your zone of genius is the one that really applies to you the most. Is it your professional background? Is it any high income skill that you possess? Is it any special God-given natural talent that you have? Or is it any major life challenges that you have successfully overcome yourself? Or is it even a hobby or something that you're really passionate about, you're obsessed about, and that you're known for in your circle? So again, please do this exercise because this is for you, not for me. This is going to really help you identify what is the one thing that you're the best person in the world to help the people that are currently going to that right now. And that is your zone of genius. So please do this exercise and share your findings inside the WhatsApp group. Now, here's my personal 4-step approach to not just a profitable podcast, but ultimately a profitable and very, very, very impactful and transformational business. Number 1, identify your zone of genius and your gifts. Again, everything is built on one thing and one thing only. Start with a C. Clarity, clarity, clarity. We need to have laser focused, extreme clarity as to what is your zone of genius, because that clarity is going to show you in no uncertain terms what is that one specific pain point that you can address and solve at the highest level. Next level is for who specifically. Once you know what pain point you can solve, the next logical step is for who specifically. The more specific, the better. And I will come into that point in a moment. And then once you've identified that, what's your zone of genius, what's a pain point you can solve, and for who, the next logical step is to identify where is that person hanging out the most online and simply inviting them onto your podcast. Because what you're going to be doing, you're going to be interviewing a prospect. Simple as that. So please take a moment on your own, write down on a piece of paper, and even after that, I would love if you can share your findings inside our WhatsApp group. Again, as I said, your crap is your goal, because literally nothing happens to you but for you. Now, let's take a look at your avatar. Again, we're all about clarity, clarity, clarity. The last thing I want you to do is to say, I help people. No. If you start your sentence when someone asks you, what do you do? What do you do, Berta, Loni, or Barbara, or Mini, Mimi, and so on and so forth? The last thing you want to say is, I help people. No, we're not helping people. We help someone very specific. Ideally, your avatar is someone who resembles you as much as possible, who looks like you, can resonate with you, can identify with you. But ultimately, your avatar is no one else than yourself. Your avatar is yourself just a few steps ago when you were starting on your journey. The biggest takeaway for me, the biggest breakthrough for me in my business, and ultimately for my clients over the last year or so, has been that of realizing that I needed to build everything I do, my message, my offer, my podcast, my YouTube channel, my business, the way I wished existed when I was starting, when I was at the lowest. Because ultimately, you're building your business for yourself. Because why? Because you're your avatar. Your avatar is the version of you that is just a few steps ago. Your avatar is not the world. Your avatar, for me, is my payments. For you, Berta, is your Bertas. For Loni, is your Lonis. For Barbara, her Barbaras. For Mini, her Minis. For Mimi, her Mimis. As simple as that. You need to have laser focus clarity. What is a pain point that you can solve based on what major life challenges have you personally overcome yourself? And you simply now turning around and as a big brother, big sister, hey, hold my hand. I've been in your shoes. Together we can get you out of this as long as you can follow my lead and you can follow my direction. That's exactly what we want. Because again, we are going to be not just a coach, but a big brother, big sister, a guide, a mentor, a Sherpa, ultimately an activator. That's what we are. I really hope this makes sense because this is a very, very, very powerful, essential principle of everything we're going to be doing. You are your avatar, not some fictional character. You yourself are your avatar. So because of that, we need to build our business, our offer, our messaging, everything we do the way we wished existed when we were starting. Build it for yourself, as simple as that. Or when you were at your lowest. If you can just understand that and implement that, you will be golden, seriously. Now, I already went to that. So your avatar is no one else but yourself. Simple as that, all based on your zone of genius. Now that we have identified what is your, or at least shown you how to identify your zone of genius, that's going to tell you what is the pain point you can solve, for who, where is the person hanging out. All of that is going to lead us in a very logical way into identifying what is your podcast, your profitable, winning, impactful, transformational, and life-changing podcast is going to be about. Simple as that. Because again, it's going to be based and built and aligned around nothing but nothing than your zone of genius, your gifts. Simple as that. Whether it's your professional background, your income skills, your natural God-given talent, or your gifts, all the crap that you have to go through in your life. Again, one very specific pain point for one very specific person. This is very, very, very important. We're not trying to help people. We're trying to help one very specific person with one very specific pain point. That's it. Because again, the more specific you are, the more clarity you have, the more magnetic your message will be, the more transformational your offer will be. And as a result of that, the more profitable your business is going to be. As simple as that. Here's some powerful reminders, guys. Do not sell your time or your knowledge, because there's always a ceiling how much you can charge for your time. And knowledge nowadays can be pretty much obtained for free with ChatGPT, YouTube, Google, and so on and so forth. Instead, offer transformation, because the bigger the transformation you offer, the more someone is going to pay you. People pay the big bucks, again, for two things: transformation and speed. Another powerful reminder is that business, and especially high-income, high-ticket selling, is all about one thing and one thing only: trust. Simple as that. How do you build that trust? By simply building rapport. How do you build rapport? By having a heart-to-heart conversation. And what's the best way to have those conversations? On a podcast, by speaking directly, interviewing our ideal clients. Another powerful reminder is, as I said earlier, when someone is looking to hire a coach and invest a few $1,000s, pounds, or euros, they're not looking to work with a disconnected billionaire, no matter how attractive it might seem for social media cloud, or for vanity metrics. But that's not going to pay the bills. What people want is someone that is just a few steps ahead of them, someone that is 1, 2, 3, or 4 steps ahead of them. That's it. Also, people want to work with someone that they can relate with, resonate with, identify with, someone that is accessible, someone that is reachable and relatable. The more authentic you are, the more you speak from the heart, the more you will be relatable. The more people will be able to open up to you. And when they open up to you, that's when they trust. And when with trust, it opens everything: doors, opportunities, wallets, and everything else in between. So again, very specific. Clarity is the name of the game, guys. Please do the action steps I'm giving you very seriously, because this is for you. We are building your business. This is way beyond just launching a little podcast. This is about building your impactful, transformational, and because it's impactful and transformational, it's going to be a wildly profitable business, your business around your zone of genius. So once we have done all of that, you should be able to see in a very logical way, who is your avatar? What is the one specific pain point that you're best qualified and equipped to solve and help. Does it make sense?
Yeah,
Awesome.
it does.
Good, good. Now, let's move on. Oops. Here's another powerful reminder. A few reminders. Never put yourself in a position to ask, beg, or chase. Instead, invite. Let me repeat that. Never put yourself in a position to ask, beg, or chase. Instead, invite. And that applies not just to business, but even in your personal life, your family, your kids, your spouse, your neighbors, your colleagues. Instead of asking them to do something, invite them and see how it's going to make turn the table in your favor. Here's some other powerful reminders. Again, identify your true zone of genius in gifts. Once we identify that, the 4 steps to building a successful, profitable, winning, transformational, not just podcast, but business. Number 1, identify your true zone of genius and true gifts. That's going to lead you to identifying your exact ideal pain point. And for who? What's your exact ideal listeners? Where they hang out, and simply invite them onto your podcast. Because again, we are going to be interviewing our prospect. We are very strategic. We are building a podcast for business. We want to make money in an ethical way, so everybody wins, and that's how to do it. This is the exact same method that allowed me to get to over 6 clients in my first weekend, and then 60 clients in the next 10 months with a YouTube channel of less than 200 subscribers. Now I'm way over closing on 200 high-ticket clients. Now my channel is at 1,525 subscribers as of yesterday. Because again, it's not about the numbers. As I said yesterday, you do not need to wait until you have 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 subscribers to make your first dollar, your first pound, or your first euro. You just need to bring your message in front of the right people. I've actually made a few $1,000s in a room with only 10 people, even just 5 people. You just need the right 5 people, the right 10 people, not a stadium full of thousands of people who were not qualified. No. Again, it's not about the numbers. It's about the connection. And you build this connection by having crystal clear, laser focused clarity. Because again, clarity is the name of the game, guys. Clarity, clarity, clarity. I want you guys to tattoo this on your soul and your forehead and your mind and your heart, because clarity is going to give you that winning edge to really stand out, especially when everybody else is saying or being very vague. Oh, how people be happy, people get fit or whatever. No, those people are not helping anyone because their message is not relating with anyone, resonating with no one. So that's it for today. Very short, very powerful, but incredibly powerful. I really, really ask you guys to do the exercises when it comes to writing down what is your zone of genius, what's the best way, which one of the ways I shared with you applies the most for you and to you in order to help you identify what is your true zone of genius. Because your zone of genius is going to be what's going to allow you to build a wildly successful, highly transformational and deeply impactful business, and of course wildly profitable business as well. So again, please do that. Share your findings inside the WhatsApp group. If you're not on WhatsApp group, please add me, connect with me. Here's a sneak peek into tomorrow, day 3. We're going to be literally taking the findings from today and crafting your irresistible Godfather offer, high ticket offer, where you're going to be able to charge at the bare minimum $1,000, pounds or euros per client. So we're going to be looking at crafting your laser focused Godfather offer, built and aligned around the number 1 pain point you and your podcast address and solve, basically on your zone of genius. And then I'm going to also be introducing to you guys another very powerful principle of business that completely changed my business, and that is having a quantifiable, measurable end result, the QMER. Your business must have a QMER. If not, it's not a business. That's an absolute non-negotiable of a successful business, and we're going to be looking into that tomorrow. So that's it, guys. Any questions? Berta, Loni, I don't know if Barbara is still here.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, Barbara is not here.
Okay. Please send the replay to her and please connect me to her on WhatsApp. And look,
Yeah.
I don't know,
I'm
we
giving your number to
please
her.
connect with me as well. Here's my WhatsApp.
Okay.
Wait, 289-987-9166. Please connect with me on WhatsApp. Any question? I'm here for you. I'm cheering for you. I want nothing more than for you, for all of you guys, Lonnie, Barbara, Berta, Mimi, Minnie, and anyone else watching this, to win. Because when you guys win, guess what? We all win together. Not just us, but also your clients. Because the most important people cheering for you guys right now are your future client, would depending on you. They need you, and we cannot let these people down. So anyway, signing out. If you have no more question, have a fantastic
Thank
day,
you
and see you guys
so
tomorrow.
much.
You're
Thank
very
you very
welcome.
much. See you tomorrow.
You're very
12
welcome, my friend.
o'clock or 11?
No, let's do 11 tomorrow.
Okay.
Or even if you guys can, even earlier. But I will post it in the WhatsApp group. The earliest, the better. So far, it looks like it's 11. That's fine. We can do 11. So
Okay.
post in the WhatsApp group what would be the best time for you, and then
Okay.
we'll take it from there. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you
much. Take
very
care. Bye bye.
much.
Bye
Have a
bye.
good day.